Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Kentucky State Police hosted a first-time car show in one eastern Kentucky city. And one eastern Kentucky author gains media attention after publishing her own literary works.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning again. It's just before 5:30 on this Monday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at your forecast. And Brandon, I feel like fall has just hit us. I feel like it was
like
summer.
A Mack truck.
Yeah, I feel like it was summer for the majority of October. Now it's just like Mother Nature's cold now.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Let's just go from 82 to like 60.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 30.
It's like when you're driving and you see a state trooper and you just put on the brakes. That's what Mother Nature's doing.
What are you trying to tell us, Dakota?
I don't speed.
There you go. Let's talk about the forecast this morning and take the heat off of you, literally. As we head into the daytime hours today, we're going to be seeing again Buffalo Mountain pretty quiet. It's not too bad up there on the camera this morning. It's cold though as you start your day. 30s and 40s across our area this morning. 30s in parts of southern Kentucky out there, Lake Cumberland area, Monticello, Williamsburg, down toward Jacksboro, over toward Harlan, and Joneswall in the 30s, and so is Irvin. But 47 in Pikeville is the hot spot this morning. And across the state and region, the Tri-Cities at 39. Just over there on this past weekend, and we're looking at again some temperatures basically below 50 pretty much everywhere this morning. Not a whole lot of action. So if you're getting ready to get your breakfast going, time to get those frosted weather wheats out. It's going to be a clear and cool morning across the board all the way through 8 o'clock, and then your day planner takes us into the upper 60s for daytime highs later this afternoon with that sunshine. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. The first Cruising with Cruisers car show kicked off Saturday in Whitesburg. Kentucky State Police hosted the event at the old Whitesburg High School. Local car owners and police departments, as well as a variety of KSP cars, were on display. Trooper Matt Gayhart says they wanted to raise funds for their Shop with the Trooper program.
Shop with the Trooper is done by 100% donations and charitable funds. So without events like this, we simply couldn't do that event. And that affects lots of children here in our area that may not get a Christmas otherwise. So it's very important, and it's something that we continue to do.
Troopers also honored late Trooper David Combs by driving a 1978 Ford Police Cruiser to the Overlook. Trooper Gayhart said, quote, "I think David would be proud that we are continuing to carry the torch that he carried for many years." The Bluegrass Council of Scouts of America hosted its 8th annual shooting event. Our Chaz Jenkins was there and has more on the activities.
A unique event offered to boys and girls across the country.
Just out in this rural setting. It has a very good title sponsor in the Kentucky Colt Association. It's an inexpensive event, but it's an exciting event for the kids.
With attendance down due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
We're down in numbers, we're down in the units, particularly in the rural areas. So it's a real welcome thing to see doing it here, for one thing, but also just that we're back doing what we used to do.
Event coordinators and participants citing a need to join Scouts of America.
So for number 1, it looks great on a resume. Number 2, it builds leadership and character. And number 3, you make a lot of great friendships, and it's a lot of fun.
We learn that we aren't alone in this world. We learn to relate to people we don't know necessarily, but we figure out how we work together to accomplish things.
As the Scouts involved in the event were excited for the activities available, like shooting shotguns.
Like shotguns, the first and foremost thing that I love about this event. It's what's fun for me. I just love being outdoors. Like, that's part of being a Boy Scout, is that and knots.
Providing opportunities for their fellow Scouts. In Knott County, Chaz Jenkins, WYMT Mountain News.
We are told the event had more than 150 kids participate. Well, it's no secret that these mountains produce some of the most talented writers, but one Eastern Kentucky author has managed to publish her work and is even gaining media attention for it. G.L. Blackhouse, author of Butterfly Secrets and Butterfly Dreams, her work has reached Amazon's top 100 and was featured in various media publications, the most recent being this month's edition of Kentucky Monthly Magazine. Blackhouse says she's grateful for the attention her first book has been receiving, and she's most excited to hear what readers have to say.
it's an adventure and a ride. And, I'm just very excited that it's finally starting to get some publicity and especially highlight Eastern Kentuckians in a positive light.
Now, her books can be found at Walmart, Barnes & Noble, and online at Amazon.com. Black House will also be promoting her most recent book, Butterfly Dreams, at the Red Spotted Newt next month. Well, the weekend marked the 32nd annual Battle of Camp Wildcat in Laurel County, bringing in reenactors and event spectators from various parts of the U.S. Our Alyssa Williams was there to catch all of the action.
Go.
Ready?
This weekend was filled with excitement as this year's Camp Wildcat reenactment took place in Laurel County, a weekend-long event that showcases one of the early engagements of the Civil War.
We're nothing more than a voice of the past, speaking the voice of tomorrow, asking them to remember our history.
But severe flooding that happened earlier this year took a toll on the Camp Wildcat battle site, adding several obstacles to the planning process for the Laurel Home Guard.
Nobody thought that we could come together and pull this off. Just like everything else, if you have a dedicated group that comes together, miracles can happen.
Through months of hard work and dedication, the Laurel Home Guard and other willing volunteers were able to put together an event they'll never forget.
It's been a lovely, wonderful time that I've been able to share with my husband and my Laurel Home Guard team.
Bringing people together over a shared love of history.
We, as reenactors, the people are the most important. It is not friends getting together, it's a family reunion for most of us.
And of course, offering a sense of camaraderie to everyone who takes part. In Laurel County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Organizers are hoping to make next year's Camp Wildcat reenactment even bigger and better than this year's. Well, Atomic Raid Arcade in Whitesburg is offering hay rides during the month of October, wanting to give the community a fun activity during the Halloween season. The hay rides are offered every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Owner Chris Baker says it's all about giving back to the county.
We'd like to continue with it and let things grow, and maybe next year we'll do a haunted house in town, and it'd be nice if our town was known for the Halloween season and have it a place where people want to come to for tourism.
Baker says the hay rides are free. For more information, you can visit the Arcade's Facebook page. After years of growing giant pumpkins, a Colorado farmer decided to make change when he could no longer load them into his truck. Now, 85-year-old Jack Slade is known for growing the best-looking pumpkins in the Rocky Mountains.
I've been retired almost 22 years.
When you get to be Jack Slade's age,
85,
it's the little things.
I did grow potatoes here and always grow tomatoes
that fill his days.
It's the kind of thing that gives you something to look forward to every day.
But in his backyard garden in Morrison,
you got to wear the whole pumpkin.
Little isn't the best word to use.
Most people think this is a big pumpkin.
In Jack's world, it isn't even close.
Well, my first pumpkin I grew in 2011 was 500 pounds.
He's spent a decade chasing the glory of giant gourds.
It gets real complicated.
Fertilizing the soil by hand.
Horse manure, compost, alfalfa pellets, leaves.
Keeping these massive plants hydrated.
Here's my watering system. I have a timer.
And sometimes struggling to even get the vegetables to the way off.
At first, I kept trying to get the biggest, so in 2013, I had a 992-pound pumpkin, and it was so big I couldn't get in my Ranger.
But after getting close to 1,000 pounds and getting closer to 90 himself,
I figure as I get older, I could never top that.
Jack now grows giant pumpkins.
Yeah, it's one of my smaller ones. But this would be as a pretty pumpkin.
For looks.
I'd rather take home the prettiest girl than the biggest.
Locally, he's won the Best Looking Pumpkin Award, the Howard Dill Award.
4 times.
And going for number 5 this year.
A nice shape and nice color.
Plus, win or lose, he has the biggest jack-o'-lanterns in town.
I'd always carve it, put it on the driveway, put a light in it, 100-watt light bulb.
After all, for Jack, it's the little things.
The deer will eat it. It takes them about 3 weeks.
Oh, well, the prestigious award that Jack Slade has won 4 times is named after Canadian farmer Howard Dill. Dill is considered the father of giant pumpkin growing and cultivated his giant gourds on his farm in Windsor, Nova Scotia. Well, a Seattle neighborhood is getting the Alfred Hitchcock touch this Halloween. That's thanks to this replica of the Bates Hotel from the movie Psycho. It's the work of Richard Knowles and his best friend who made the hotel to scale. They even painted it in shades of gray because Hitchcock shot Psycho in black and white. The rest of the year, Knowles displays a replica of the Rosebud Motel from the TV show Schitt's Creek. A new Halloween-themed sausage from a Wisconsin meat market is getting a lot of attention. The Spooktober brat, has the 3 ingredients: pork, beer, and candy corn.
Meet the latest meat. See those little orange things in the bratwurst? It's candy corn. That's what they're selling for $4.99 a pound at the Jennifer Street Market in Madison, Wisconsin. The main ingredients: pork, beer, and candy corn.
Somebody said that this should be a felony offense, so I don't think I've done anything wrong, though.
Spooktoberfest brats is what the market calls them. Slightly sweet and not scary at all. Wrong, says this hot dog gif. This is a war crime.
Certainly not.
WMTV morning anchor Tim Elliott described himself as one of the first guinea pigs to taste what he calls the Frankenweenie.
I mean, it was good. It was salty and sweet. The candy corn actually melts when they heat it up, so it kind of disperses the sweetness throughout.
But don't expect the insults to be dispersed. WTF is wrong with the American Midwest. The meat manager at the Jennifer Street Market says they often experiment with their brats. They've had duds.
We did try one with root beer. We also tried a loaded baked potato that did not do very well.
The candy corn brats seem to fit right in with Fruit Loops Pizza from Iowa, and even Nabisco has put candy corn in limited edition Oreos. And before you say this candy corn brat is the worst, at least taste the bratwurst.
Delicious.
Jeannie Mose, CNN.
I ate a whole brat, the whole thing. I wanted another one.
New York.
Well, just ahead this morning, the latest project by a famous singer puts him in the record books for the 5th time.
And rain chances are back in the forecast for us here in the mountains, but not until later this week. I'll tell you about the nice conditions before we get to those in about 3 minutes.